no means just a wind in the wings. Yes, sir. I got my feet on a cloud and I won't come down. No, I won't come down. I used to bounce on knees, fresh from the oven, chubby and carefree. I had a mind at ease. Now I oversee the trees, birds and the beasts and the man and his empty deeds. I see everything. I got my feet on a cloud and I won't come down. I saw the eyes of the maker.
Guess who got a bunch of books? I have in here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books, and then I have finished a book that I got 2 days back, which I'll also include in this book haul. And publisher sent me like 3 books, so I'll also include them in this book haul. So it's gonna be a big book haul. Also, I got a new camera, if you don't know, and I am really excited. I don't know if it's gonna work really fine or not, but I got a new camera and it follows me around. Oh no, I'm not gonna show you that side, it's all messy. Perfect. So these are the 3 books that publisher sent me, and then this is the book that I got 3 or 4 days back, which I've already read and finished. I feel like I'm very late to the party because everyone and their mother has read this book. And I mean, I used to think it's not that good because Lorelai said that you can skip this book, and so I was like, yeah, she said I can skip this book. And turns out you don't have to skip this book because it's really good in a way that touches your heart. I mean, you know, one of those books that you think you should have read earlier in life so you would have avoided certain heartbreaks. Yeah, that's the vibe of this book. I have a few favorite quotes, but wait, let me read one. If you hold back on the emotions, if you don't allow yourself to go all the way through them, you can never get to being detached. You are too busy being afraid. You're afraid of the pain, you're afraid of the grief, you're afraid of the vulnerability that loving entails. But throwing yourself into these emotions, by allowing yourself to dive in all the way, over your head even, you experience them fully and completely. You know what pain is, you know what love is, you know what grief is, and only then can you say, alright, I have experienced that emotion, I recognize that emotion, now I need to detach from that emotion for a moment. Wash yourself with the emotion. It won't hurt you, it will only help you. And I feel the older we get, the more we realize that it's okay to feel. You know, numbness isn't a strength, but feeling everything is, right? It's such a taboo that, hey, you shouldn't, you know, feel things so extremely. Are you so soft? But this book just made me realize that it's okay to feel, and it's only human to feel. Yeah, if you haven't read this book, I highly recommend this one. It's so good. I am still collecting my thoughts. So how I review is, I read a book, I write things about it on my notes app, because I think about a book for like weeks and weeks. So it depends on how much I have engaged with the book. You know, the delay on the review, it's because of that. And I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah, that's how I do the reviews. I just let the book wash over me. But yeah, this is the book I got a couple of days back. This I've already finished, so yeah. Also, I have been buying a lot of books recently, and I feel I'm someone who says, hey, I don't buy a lot of books, but I do, and that's because I am reading a lot. I have read 34 books so far already, which I think is a huge number. Just like this month in June, I have read around 6 or 7 books, and so it's only normal for me to buy like 4 or 5, which like I went a little overboard and bought more than that, but that's because I'm collecting the New York Review Classics. That's the reason. My bed is unmade, and every time I move, it shows you that portion. I usually just sit on the floor, so don't mind me doing that. The books I got, and then 3 books that publishers have sent me. Let's start from the publishers. Bombay Circle Press very kindly sent me a copy of Sunburn by Chloe Michelle Howarth. I have been eyeing this book for like 2 years now, and I really like the cover. I have almost bought the book a couple of times. I never actually did, and then they sent me a copy, and I can't wait to read this one. I also have an audiobook for this book. Actually, I bought the audiobook a couple of months back this year, so yeah, I am going to read this in July for sure. It's the early 1990s, and in the Irish village of Closmore, Lucy feels out of place. Despite her fierce friendships, she has always felt this way, and the conventional path of marriage and motherhood doesn't appeal to her at all, not even with handsome and doting Martin, her closest childhood friend. Lucy begins to make sense of herself during a long hot summer when a spark with her school friend Susanna escalates to an all-consuming infatuation and very quickly to a desperate and devastating love. Fearful of rejection from her small and conservative community, Lucy begins living a double life, hiding the most honest parts of herself in stolen moments with Susanna. But with the end of school and the opportunity to leave Cosmo looming, Lucy must choose between 2 places, 2 people and 2 future, each as terrifying as the other, but only one can offer her real happiness. Then we have Necessary Fiction by, I don't know how to pronounce the name. I should probably look up the pronunciation, but she's the author of Figure Bounds, which has been on my TBR for the longest because I have only heard good things about the book. So I am excited to read this one, but more excited about this one. Title is Dandelion is Dead by Rosie Storey. This one will be out on March 2026, next year, and the blurb sounds absolutely something I'm going to enjoy. So I want to start this one tonight, but I also want to start The Invisible Life of Addie Larue, because this is the book club pick for us for July, and it's a chunky book and I have some plans later for this month, so I want to finish it as soon as I can. Lots of human and dog hair over there. I don't know how they reached that, but let me read you the blurb. It goes, 7 months. What happens when you fall in love with a lie? 7 months after Dandelion's death, Poppy resurrects her sister's phone and finds a message from a man on a dating app, Jake. Dandelion, delighted in bad behavior, she pushed Poppy to be daring and free, so on what would have been her sister's 40th birthday, Poppy decides to do something wild, and for one night only, she goes on a date as Dandelion. Only when Poppy meets Jake, they have unexpected chemistry, thrilling hot, confusing chemistry. They become tangled in deceit while discovering something shockingly real. As a precious deer spirals somewhere, unexpected and quite dazzling, Dandelion is Dead becomes a love story, a ballad of sisterhood, and an ode to bad behavior. Tell me that doesn't sound tempting, and that sounds absolutely right up my alley. I've also read the first page and I think it revolves between the lie and what actually happened. So like, I'm so freaking excited to read this one. Now on to the books that I have purchased for myself. Oh wow, I can't really look up Netherlands for some reason. I need to get used to that. Let me just get everything out. Oh, I have actually damaged a few books, which is fine, Books are meant to be used and a bit worn out. Let's start from the chunkiest book in the pile. The Complete Poems of Emily Dickinson, and it's a thick baby. I was talking about Emily Dickinson with my mother a few days back, and this is what she surprised me with. So it's not actually something I bought, but something my mom gifted to me, which July is also my birthday month, so everything she buys for me during this period, she's like, it's a birthday gift, just take it. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, this collection has 1775 poems by Emily Dickinson, which great. I am in for a treat. So yeah, I'm excited to read this one. Then I have a couple of New York Review book classics. So an exciting thing I found out about this particular edition, is that New York Review classic books, NYRB, they publish books that were taken out of publishing because they were not that much in demand. So all the books they have in the catalog, I can't speak for some reason today, all the books they have in their catalog right now, they were taken out of publishing because the demand were not too high, is what I mean. I can't speak. Should I just not make this video? I don't know. Okay, but I did my research this time, and so the 4 books I got, I actually watched some reviews, and also the people who collect these editions, I watched the specific YouTube videos. I'll link them down in the description so you can also go watch. And the ones that spoke to me, I got these editions, and I was lucky enough to find 4 of them. I actually shortlisted some 40 something titles, and I got 4 of these, also because these editions are a bit expensive, and so I don't think I can buy all 40 anytime soon, but baby steps for now. We're starting with this one. It's a dystopian. It's The Singularity by Dino Buzzati. I'll read you the blurb. Almano Ismani, an unassuming university professor, is summoned by the Ministry of Defense to accept a 2-year top-secret mission at a mysterious research center. Isolated from the world among forests, plunging cliffs, and high mountains. What's he supposed to do there? Not clear. How long will he be there? No saying. Still, Ismani takes the job and, accompanied by his no-nonsense wife Alisa, heads to the so-called experimental camp of Military Zone 36. Is it some sort of nuclear project, he wonders? But no, colleagues tell him that that's not what it is. What they are working on is much more powerful. At the center of the research complex is a strange shining white wall. Behind it, a deep gorge drops away full of wires, radio towers, mobile sensors, and eccentric structures. A question begins to dawn. Could this be the shape of consciousness itself? I haven't read a good dystopian in so long, so I'm really looking forward to this one. I took a tiny water break, so if you're watching this, go sip on some water. And off to the next book. This is On the Marble Cliffs by Ernst Jünger. I have actually researched about this book, and I have had this on my Amazon cart for a while. I got this from a bookstore. Before anyone comes at me, I got this from a bookstore. I usually get this question, where do you get your books from? Mostly from bookstores, because yeah, it's fun. You go out and you read the blurbs, you touch the books, and that's the best part of buying books. On to the blurb. The narrator of the book and his brother Otto lives in an ancient house carved out on the Great Marble Cliffs that overlook the marina, a large and beautiful lake that is surrounded by a peaceable land of ancient cities and temples and flourishing vineyards. To the north of the cliff are the grasslands of Kempenga, occupied by herders. North of that, the vast forest begins. There, the brutal head forester rules, erected by the warrior bands of... Such a fancy word, I don't know how to pronounce it. I am a reader and I can't pronounce words, I'm so sorry. The brothers have seen all too much of war. Their youth was consumed in fighting. They have resolved to live quietly, studying botany, adding to their herbarium, consulting the books in their library, involving themselves in the timeless pursuit of knowledge. However, rumors of dark deeds begin to reach them in the century. Agents are infiltrating the peaceful provinces that the herd first views with contempt, while peace itself, it seems, may only be a mask for heedlessness. We were also out of town. I'm so sweaty all of a sudden. So we were out of town over the weekend, and it was so freaking cold, and it was pouring, and for some reason we decided to go swimming, and it was all fun until it wasn't, because I got sick, and so my voice is all gone. But that is what life is about. A School for Fools by Sasha Sokolov. Now, this one, I have been wanting to read Sasha Sokolov's work for quite some time, and this is the only book I can spot in the bookstore from this specific edition. So this is what I got. Let me read you the blurb. Here we find not one reliable narrator but two unreliable narrators. The young man who is a student at the School for Fools and his double. What begins as a reverie comes to seem a sort of fairy tale quest, not for gold or marriage, but for self-knowledge. The currents of consciousness running through the novel are passionate and profound. Memories of childhood summer at the dacha are contemporaneous with the present. The dead are alive and the beloved is present in the wind. Here is a tale either of madness or of the life of the imagination in conversation with reason, straining at the limits of language. In the words of Vladimir Nabokov, an enchanting, tragic and touching book. I am going to do a lot of times. Now, this is a book that I have heard only good reviews about, but I don't know, the cover does not appeal to me, but I also want to read a good book. It's The Bridge of Beyond by Simone schwarz-bart. I don't know how to pronounce that name. I don't know why I even try to act like I'm intelligent. I'm not. I don't know what's happening to my accent, but I have spent so much time with my nephew over the past few days. My accent is cooked because that boy speaks plain thought, and not the cool plain thought, because he's 5. And I have spent so much time with him, and I miss him because they left yesterday. And I miss him so much. But onto the blurb. This is an intoxicating tale of love and wonder, mothers and daughters, spiritual values and the grim legacy of slavery on the French Antillean island of Guadeloupe. Here, long-suffering Telumi tells her life story and tells us about the proud line of Languedoc women she continues to draw strength from. Time flows unevenly during the long hot blue days as the madness of the island swirls around the village, and Telumi, raised in the shelter of wide skirts, must learn how to navigate the adversities of a peasant community, the ecstasies of love and domestic realities, while arriving at her own precious happiness. So we are done with my NYRBs. Now we have 2 more books. This one is Franz Kafka's The Castle. Do I need to read you the blurb? I don't think so. I actually do not own a copy of The Castle. I read this book in the ebook version, and I really want to have a copy and reread this book this year. So I got this one. I actually have vintage editions of Kafka, so I don't know why I got this one. Just things I do because I am an idiot. Then we have Luminous by Sylvia Park. I keep on seeing this book on my social media. Everyone is reading this book. Everyone is buying this book. And so I was like, let me get this book. It's another dystopian and it sounds really interesting. I actually have a lot of books, but that's all the books I got this month. Such a wild thing to say. I am going to change and then I'm going to start The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I'm also reading War and Peace. Started a book club where we are reading War and Peace together. I have only made it through 100 pages so far. It's 1400 pages. I don't know how I'm going to do it. 100 pages were really easy because I made it through 200 pages the last time. So I sort of remembered half of the stuff that's going on. But now it's gonna be a task. Is my mic alive? Yeah. I was just checking if my mic is alive. It is. So for now, I'm going to read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I really like this camera. I don't know how the quality is going to turn out like, but I really like this camera. I also should get into the habit of looking directly inside your soul because this is not working. So I have my mic on. If you can't hear me, that's because I don't know how to turn on the mic yet. I also got a new camera, if you can't notice. So I changed. I haven't removed my makeup, but also makeup ke naam pe I just have Benetint on everywhere and this kajal, not kajal, bindi, but like it's out of eyeliner. So I got some skincare PRs. Did I flash my address? No. I got some skincare PRs. This one is by Amino. I opened it. Idhar se, I don't know what's inside. It comes with this booklet. I don't really know what's in there because they just asked if they can send me some products and I was like, sure. And it comes with a bag. We have their step number 3, they charge their copper peptide serum, and step number 4, radiance face oil. And then I have this thing by Gush Beauty. For Amino, I had some idea that they're sending me something. Gush, I don't think they have reached out to me. Pink bubble wrapping, that's so cute. D&D making shower fun again. Guys, this is so freaking cute. What the heck? It's like you have in here a cake for me. Now serving sweet skin treats, Whiplash by Gush Beauty. You are going to see it first for sure. So freaking These are stickers. I am going to journal. These are stickers. Stop. Stop. I am going to look at my reactions and I'm going to be like, oh my gosh. It smells so sweet. Like that one bubblegum that I really love. This is the way to my heart, by the way. We are about to start The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Yeah, let's get to reading. So I just finished reading Shy by Mix Potter, and I don't know, I just finished it like 5 or 10 minutes back. I'm still trying to just gather my thoughts. It's unlike anything I have read because I have read about women being, miserable, them losing it, I have read female rage, I have read a woman just going insane in the best way possible, but I have never read about a man going insane or losing it, or I don't know how to explain it. It's so different. It's like stepping into a mind of a teenage boy who is mid-fall, who wants to be saved but doesn't want to be saved at the same time. It's chaotic, vulnerable, miserable, weird, haunting in ways that will give you chills, that will make you stare at the wall after every single sentence. It's so weird. This book doesn't ask you for sympathy, it just lets you sit in the mess and offers you kindness, if that makes sense. Kindness is different when I use the word kindness, by the way. Wow, you know how you read the book and then you look at the cover and you go, okay, the cover makes sense. The cover designer actually read the book before doing whatever they're supposed to do. And this is one of those books. It's so tiny, and I don't know, I don't see this a lot on my side of Instagram. So I'm happy that bookstore owner suggested me this book. And yeah, I'm still gathering my thoughts, but I do recommend this one. Okay, it's also getting late, so I'll just watch Doom at Your Service for a while. That's the K-drama I'm watching right now. For some reason, I started watching it, and in my head, it was just 5 episodes long, and suddenly it's 16. I had no idea it's 16. I just thought it's 5 episodes long, and that is the main reason I started it. I just wanted to come up here and talk a bit, not anything intelligent or knowledgeable, just yap, because I feel this is the space where I can be really honest and me, you know. I feel on Instagram, you just know parts of me, like the parts that I am the most comfortable sharing, and so most of the people, they think I am exceptionally knowledgeable, extremely nice and all that. And I mean, I really like that you have that perception about me, but I'm also just a human and I have my good days and bad days. And I mean, this is a space I solely want to dedicate so that people can know me, and so I can look back and see the sort of progress I have made over time, because I mean, that's the main goal of having this channel, so that I can look back and see how far I have come. And even if I have not come too far, I just want myself to remember that life is what happens every day, and I don't have to reach a certain milestone. I don't have to be a certain way. I don't have to have a certain things to be happy. And I don't know, the main motive behind being more active on this channel is a bit selfish. I just want to be more honest with myself. I just want to make sure that I have something I can look back to. And that's really weird, but for the past few days, I have been struggling so much with things, and oh my god, I might cry now. So 2019, 2020 was a phase when I had depression and anxiety, and I was undergoing meds and all that. And it's a phase that I look back to, and I mean, I have learned so much from that experience, and I know what works for me, I know what doesn't work for me, and yeah, that's happening. And 3 days back, I almost had a panic attack, and I haven't had one in 4 years now. So it's been a long time. And those moments when things are happening and you're like, oh shit, I have been through this exact same thing, and I don't want history to repeat itself. I don't know where I went wrong, but I don't want to have that experience again. I think I've grown into a stronger person, but I at the same time don't think I have enough to go through that thing again. I'm strong, so I know if it happens, I will be able to go through it again, but I just want to have a place where I can look back to and realize that I'm strong, and I just don't want to give up on things, Even if I fail, even if things aren't working out the way I want them to, I just want to do things because they make me happy. But I also have been reflecting on how things are going on for me. And I mean, as much as I love social media, I also think this isn't something that one can feel secure in, because my life, if I dedicate it to social media, it's basically based off if other people like me or not, and that's an extremely different level of pressure. So I work as a general manager at an automobile dealership. I work with my mom and dad. They own the dealerships. They have a couple of dealerships and I work at one of them. So basically work with my mom and dad. I get lots of questions about that. So I think it's okay for me to share it now. And I'm aware that it's very different from the type of jobs that other people have, and I am lucky in ways that I work with my parents, but at the same time I'm extremely alone because I am with the same set of people most of the day. And while I am extremely grateful for that, I don't know, there's this thing that I don't have people for me, because my brother has a girlfriend, my mom have dad's got mom. Who do I have in the longer term if things don't work out, if things fall apart? Who do I have? And I've been thinking about that for a couple of days now, and I think that is the reason why I had that panic attack thingy. And I don't want my life to revolve around, oh, who do I have? Because I have me. And I just think that a couple of days back, I almost lost the purpose, not purpose, but I was lost in a way that I thought I'm not enough for me. But I just had this realization that I am enough and I don't need anyone else. Yes, it's amazing to have someone to love that loves you on days when you're sick, because I don't know, it's so hard to not have someone when you're sick, especially if you are, dealing with something hard. You need people to be there for you, and you need someone to love you regardless, right? But even if you don't have that someone, it's okay, because I don't know. I don't have an answer to that, but I'm just trying to remind myself that it's okay to not have someone yet. I might find someone, I might not find someone, and it's fine either way. I don't know why I'm yapping, but like I said, this channel is more about me now. If you want the good and pretty stuff, you can go over to my Instagram. If you want me to just come up here and talk nonsense, you're here, and I really like and I really appreciate you here. I've also had this realization that I need to appreciate things more. I need to tell people I love them, because you never know how much time you have until you run out of it, I don't know. A lot of stuff is going on inside my head. I feel lost. I also feel like I'm not doing enough with my life, even though I know I'm doing enough. And I don't know, some days I just don't know where I'm headed, because I don't have a definite 5 or 10 year plan. I just know I want to be 40 and surrounded by a couple of dogs, a couple of cats, in my own house by the forest. I'm extremely scared of earthworms, by the way. But yeah, I just want to be surrounded by things that I love and I'm scared of, because that is what life is about. And yeah, I don't know, I just feel lost, which I think is normal. You're supposed to feel lost. You're supposed to have days where you feel you're worthless, so when the right days come, you can see your worth. You're supposed to feel sad in order to appreciate your happy moments. And on days where I'm crying and I'm sad and I don't know what I'm doing and I'm tired of everything, I just remind myself that, life is never going to be linear. It has to go down and up and down and up, and that's the fun part of it. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I don't know if any of that made sense, but it made sense to me, and I don't know. That I think is important.